वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थ प्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ। नमस्सभायै। अद्य वयं सेवारत शिक्षक शिक्षा केन्द्र पक्षतः प्रचलमाना कार्यशालायाः चतुर्थदिने वयं प्रथमसत्रे स्मः। तर्हि अद्य अतिथिरूपेण आगताः भवन्ति डॉक्टर पी लावण्यकुमारी महोदयाः। तर्हि एताः भवन्ति कथम् इत्युक्ते मैडम अवगच्छन्ति एवं तर्हि एताः असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर एंड अध्यक्षरूपेण डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ स्टैटिस्टिक्स एंड कंप्यूटर एप्लिकेशंस एसवी यूनिवर्सिटी मध्ये कार्यं कुर्वन्त्यः सन्ति। तर्हि महोदयानां विषये पश्यामः चेत् 22 years of experience, पुनः 3 books published, अनन्तरं पुनः 64 papers, in that also 10 papers national, 54 papers international papers published अभवत्। तर्हि अत्र एकः मम अनुभवः अस्ति, प्रायः मैडम जानाति वा? मैडम, actually I was a student of yours when I was in PhD 2015. You taught SPSS for us. So by that actually I spent so much of money here but because of your teaching as a own individually, I analyzed my data and I completed my PhD. Now I am working as an assistant professor here. So it is a very grateful opportunity for me that today I am inviting, and today so we are the students and we are the teachers, so we have to think that it will be very useful for us for your PhD thesis, and after when you become teacher, you can guide some students also. So I would like to invite Dr. P. Lavanyakumari madam, please grace the dais.
Hypothesis itself, you may have some difficulties. Why hypothesis? What is objective? Then I try to make you very, very easy. I'll try my level best. Let us start with the role of statistics is inevitable in any of the disciplines. Where is God? Everywhere. The requirement of statistics also everywhere. Not because of that is my subject. My dear students, I can tell you. Because if there is a need to wise decisions at the face of uncertainty, if everything is certain, no need to worry about statistics, no need to invite the statistic. Everything is uncertain in this creation. Simple example, can you sign your signature 3 times alike? You will be awarded PhD degrees without doing anything. If it is the announcement also, can anybody ready? Only 3 times if you write your signature, similarly you will be awarded doctorates. Yes? Are you ready? Yes? Yes? Please try. Please try. I recommend. I'll forward all my intellectual degrees to you. Just try. Let us come to the practical situations. Even if you write, please write on your own letter also, because we have running up the time. There will be differences. Voluntarily you didn't do, but somehow it happened. Voluntarily didn't do. Voluntarily if you write your signature with capital letters, with small letters, something that is voluntarily, you created the variation. Why you have written like this? If I ask that, then you tell that, ma'am, first was in capital letters, second was in small letters, you can tell, or cursive writing. Even if you write 3 times or cursive in the same format, you could not produce the similarity. Hence, I can conclude that variance is inherent in nature. But Statistics is a powerful tool which divides the total variance. Variance means difference. What you expected, what you have done, the difference is called as variance. What you expected, if it is happened, no problem. No variation, no statistics, no worries. Is it possible? Whatever you are expecting, can you do it? Can you get from the others? You are not practically thinking, just think about it. You cannot, something variation is there. That might be due to some reason, but sometimes you cannot assign a reason for that variation. Why it has happened, if I ask, you cannot tell completely. In sometimes you may tell because of that reason it had happened. For some situations you could not reveal the cause also, why it had happened. I tried my level best, but I could not get it. If you are able to see the factor which stops that results, that is called assignable factor, or in your terminology, factors. Factors, independent variables, because of that only it had happened. Sometimes you cannot tell. I can tell so many examples for that. What I wish to tell you is, variance is inherent in nature. There is no chance for that to set everything is constant, not at all possible. Even if you go for your ECG also, the graph will be like this, not like this. And your mood, your interest, your affection, your energies, everything is different. If I ask you why you are losing your energies, ma'am, morning only I had a breakfast, now after 3 hours, I lost some of the energies, you can tell that was the reason. If I ask, if you come, even after taking the breakfast itself, you are not very active, I don't know what happened. If you could able to tell the reason, that will be the factor. Sometimes you cannot tell. I don't know what happened. Those are called as random error. Those are called as random error. Statistics tries to divide the variation due to known factors and unknown factors. Only one objective statistics. One is the total variation. What is the variation? Difference between expected and observed. Happened. You expected something, happened is something. There is a gap. A gap may be this much, gap may be this much, gap may be this much. We don't bother. The quantification of gap is not the problem here, but any size of the gap, the error can be divided into 2 parts. One is, gap means variance. Variation due to factors. Unknown variation, I don't know. For example, 80% difference is there, 80% variation. Up to 60% you can tell that because of that it has happened, because of this it has happened like that. 20% you could not tell anything. That is called random guess. So this is the very base for statistical analysis. If you can tell for all factors for the variation, no need of statistics. If there is no variation between expected and observed, there is no scope for statistics. Third one is, if everything is certain, there is no scope for statistics. There is uncertainty. Can anybody help me in defining uncertainty? Uncertain? Sanskritamlo kuda cheppachu. You can speak in Sanskrit also, I can understand, but I cannot speak of it. Definition of uncertain, have you heard of that terminology? He is totally uncertain, the situation is uncertain, I cannot understand, I cannot promise you surely because something may happen. So, uncertain means, what is unknown? Completely not known, that is the complete. What is uncertain?
Anirdishta.
Pardon?
Anirdishta. Anischayata.
Anischayata. Okay. Anischayata means prior to that you must have some list of happenings. Among these, what may happen, we don't know. Not sure. But you know what are the possibilities. Am I clear? In unknown, there is no possibilities. You don't know any possibilities. For uncertain, you know all possibilities, but at particular time, what is going to be happen, you don't know. That is called uncertain. For unknown things, nobody can do anything. You need to dig out. Leave that part. Coming to uncertain. Due to if uncertain cases, statistics helps us a lot to give the proper predictions. This is going to be happen. If you change this variable, this much of, if you improve the study hours by 1 hour, what is the progress in the students also we can estimate through the statistics. Provided the students must be in homogeneous position. Otherwise different, UG, PG, PhD, if you put together, clubbing the class, if you tell the same, some training, then later how can you identify the change? So the experimental units must be, otherwise whatever you are taking, the data must be homogeneous most probably. But in practical, it is not possible. It is not possible. Then how to conduct? You cannot identify the homogeneous persons. Homogeneous, with regard to this conference or this workshop, you are all are homogeneous. With respect to your intellectual power, you may be heterogeneous. With respect to your interest, with respect to your objectives to attend this class may be different. Energies may be different, grasping power may be different, age may be different, what not. All these are factors. If I ask you, yeah, person X performs well in my examinations, what about person Y? You can tell that, ma'am, I was the very junior, how can I compete the senior fellow? You are telling the reason, that is the factor. That is why you are taking independent variables as factor. With respect to education, with respect to age, with respect to gender, for which factor the variance may be occur. By understanding that particular thing, you are fixing the factors or, in your opinion, independent variables. So, on which phenomena you are going to measure? Satisfaction, or knowledge levels, or practice levels, or their perception levels, all these are called as dependent variables. Independent variables are the factors that influence the dependent variable always. Listen to me, majority of the times, if you remember the previous thesis, yeah, they have considered 5 independent variables, I need to also consider 5 independent variables. That is not the way to understand the research. Please understand yours main dependent variables. Then analyze, just understand and study, observe whether my dependent variable is influenced by any set of independent variables or factors. If answer is yes, try to identify which one. In some phenomena, religion may have some effect. In some phenomena, religion doesn't have any effect. So there is no fixed rule or thumb rule to consider the independent variables. For each and every individual, based on your topic, based on your dependent variable only, you need to consider what type of independent variables that I should consider. Even you collect data on several independent variables, as far as statistical analysis is concerned, you need to filter them. Otherwise, the thesis may be meaningless. You need to filter them. First of all, let's question ourselves whether knowledge level of the public on COVID pandemic may be influenced by their education status. Common sense you are telling, educated persons may have the different knowledge, uneducated guys may have the different knowledge. I am not talking who is inferior. Superiority, inferiority cannot be tackled by the statistics. It tells there is difference or not. That is the part of researcher, then they can understand it is inferior or superior. Statistics doesn't tell. So, if by your common sense also we can understand, yeah, educated persons may think differently regarding the COVID pandemic, uneducated persons may think differently regarding COVID pandemic. Then you can consider education as the factor to be studied on COVID pandemic awareness or practice. Likewise, for each and every pair, meticulously you need please observe. The best thing is, if you somewhere by taking the seniors and professors' guidance, then you prepared the schedule and you collected the data. At least at that time also, you please consider this type of checking. What are my dependent? What are my independent? What are my real independent variable that influence my dependent variables? before touching the statistics. Otherwise, lies, damn lies, statistical lies. So this is the danger with the statistics, because garbage in, garbage out. That means if you substitute any garbage in the formula, you can get one of the answer. Based on that answer, you should not write the interpretation. Prior to that, be careful about that. The best thing is, prior to preparing the schedule itself, you must think as the researcher. You are majority of the times people are behaving as the researchers, not thinking as the researcher. Researcher thinking must be very, very positive, very, very enthusiastic. Morals, all these put together. If your brain is working with all these inputs always until you get the very good results, and the contribution to the society, and the plagiarism problem should not be there. Everything. Don't consider 3 years are there, this much of time is there, my guide is not allowing me to show so many. That is not the matter. You must have the fashion. Even if you are going to drink this much, that is enough. No need to do so much of wonders during the 3 years. Whatever may be the size, the quality matters here. Quality. How much it is contributing to the society, or how much information it is contributing to the society or the people of your juniors. What is the contribution towards policy decisions regarding education department? Through my research results. In such a way, please think. Then only you can explore how to proceed. Majority of the people, after taking their registration in PhD, then they can go what type of topic I should do and what is the sample size. My previous wala taken 30, 40 sample size, then can I go 30 or can try to less the sample size also. This is not the question. If you do like this, you may get the degrees, but you cannot enjoy with your degrees. Degrees are nothing but praisings. Through praisings, you must have that qualities. That is what I am thinking every time, and what I would like to tell my students also. So by this, anyhow you are spending your valuable lifetime in studies. Why I am telling as the statistician here, statistics is a decision-making science that extracts truth behind numbers and the face of uncertainty. Simple word. Statistics is not the mathematical, don't think that may be part of mathematics, but it is a decision-making science. That is not the arts. This is the science that extracts truth behind numbers. Ma'am, I can also extract, if you tell your salary, if you tell your any expenditure or savings, I can tell interpretation also. That is not the meaning. If uncertainty is there, next month how much I am going to spend, can you tell? No, statistics tells. This is the probability that tell me her or his past history. Based on that, I can tell there is a possibility to spend next month or next year this much of amount. Something is always better than nothing. Without statistics, if you were asked, then I cannot tell. How can I tell? You may have different aspects. How can I tell? Likewise, no. In the development of the society, each and every discipline is contributing something to filter the unnecessary contributions from all the disciplines. Statistics helps a lot to take decisions. So many inputs are there. How to filter the input, how to consider the input also. Statistics helps a lot. Similarly, while conducting your research also, then how to present my data. Let us assume that you prepared some schedule, interview schedule or questionnaire, you collected the data. Collected the data on different variables. Through questionnaire. Some questions may have open-end questions will be there, or options will be there, A, B, C, D, or multiple responses will also be there. Different pattern of data may come out of your data collection. Then how to proceed? That is what I would like to start now. First of all, try to understand types of variables. Types of variable is nothing but the heading that you put under Excel sheet after collecting the data. Otherwise, those who are very new to those who have not yet collected the data, please consider each and every question is nothing but variable. Each and every question in your schedule represents the variable. Then what type of variable is it? Prior to that, you must know how many types of variables. Why we are discussing about variables here? If you know the type of variable and its contribution, then only you can click the suitable statistical term. There is a very, very great need to understand types of variables and its range and its contribution. Let us consider a very simple example. Satisfaction of the teachers or students. Very simple. Satisfaction of the students of a university. Then that is the dependent variable. You would like to analyze the satisfaction of the students in particular year, in particular institution. For that, the very lengthy schedule is considered and you have distributed and you got the data. Then tell me, satisfaction of the students studying in any university depends on which factors? Being a student, you please understand. Which factors? Teaching, quality of the teaching. Tell me whatever you can. Quality of the teaching. Hostels, facility. Any? Classroom environment. Yes. Next. Accessing to the faculty. ICT lab. Good.
Student-teacher relation.
Student-teacher relation. Very good. So if you tell any list of reasons, all will become factors. Those are all independent variables that influence your satisfaction as a student in any institution. You can list out. Please assume that. Now, first phase is over. In second phase, now we need to filter, otherwise express or present which one contributing more. You told 10, for example, 10 factors you told for your satisfaction. Among 10, please think that all are contributing same level to your satisfaction? No. Very good. Statistics helps us to identify which is most significant, which is next, which is next, which is next, which is insignificant. In your perception, you are telling that the factor 8 is significant, just you told that. But by applying tools, it is telling that no need to worry, factor 8 is correlated with factor 4. No need to include factor 8 in our model, it is telling. Are you getting? If the closest environment, very good environment is there in your department, accessing with the faculty, then definitely there is a relation. You told that there is a faculty and student relation, good relation. Another one is what another person is told that accessing must be there for the faculty. Accessing means anytime you can go and ask your doubts on it. That is. So let us consider here. Access and relation are related?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
That is why statistics can avoid unnecessary, redundant information in your thesis. Otherwise, you can tell that through access, I am very happy about 20%. I am very happy about 20%. Through good relation, I am very happy about 2%. 2% is merged in 20%. No need to worry. Reduce the size unnecessarily. Don't get confusion. That is the thing. Even in your lunch box, you are putting your students or children. Then main thing is all are required for a lunch. What is the main thing there? What is the main thing? Food. All are food something. Chocolate, rice, sambar, all everything will be there. What is the main? If you miss the rice in the lunch, even if you put another chocolate or sambar or another curries, what you will get the reply from your children or child?
I want food. Rice.
How can I eat without chapati or rice? That is what he is telling. That is significant. Listen to me now. Since it is significant, tomorrow if you put only rice without all this, can he take? So though you know that is significant, that is correlated with other curries, that is why other also required. If you miss to put some chocolate at the end, there is no problem. Evening also he can take, not during the lunch. You are telling that this is the lunch pack, I missed the chocolate, no worries. Amma, you missed the chocolate and he come and ask, you can give the 2 chocolates, no issue. That is not the time. On that time only he no need to take that type of chocolate. But see here, significant you find out chapati, roti or rice are the significant. But significant alone cannot be taken back. Here also, you cannot identify, you cannot work with only significant fellows. Significant and insignificant must be there. So to avoid such a big list, you are telling just now, previously also, you started telling so many factors for the satisfaction. My question is, if the number of factors are more, the time required for the analysis or research or to consider the conclusions may be lengthy. For that purpose, if you cut as your wish, good results may not be come out. If you cut means, if the size of the quantity or weight of the lunch is more, then if you avoid whatever you wanted to avoid, it is not possible. You cannot maintain the satisfaction of the children. Here also, try to identify which is significant, which is not significant. For that purpose, statistics helps you. You may have, ma'am, accessing is also one of the factor, relation is also one of the factor. Statistics tells that those 2 are correlated, my dear. Please take any one. No need to worry another one. Why? What is the advantage if you reduce the number of factors? If you are having only 3 or 2 activities, you can do them very, very, very qualitative. The quality of your actions will be more if the number of actions are lesser. That is universal truth. That is why if you need to handle 10 activities within 1 hour or 1 day, then quality of the actions may be reduced automatically. That is why there is a statistics concept which considers and which reduces the insignificant factors unnecessarily to be included in your researches. In such a way you need to think. So come to type of variables. Yeah, somehow you collected the data. Can anybody tell types of variables? What is those? Please sit and tell.
Independent variable.
Independent variable and dependent variable. Any other things? Can anybody? Pardon? Intervening variable. Next, another? Extraneous variable. Next? Confounding variable. Next? With respect to measurements, there are 2. One is quantitative, one is qualitative. Very important. First phase you must learn like that only. Because statistics works on only numbers, not on your feelings. It works on your numbers. Even though you are working on your feelings, that must be quantifiable later. Then only I can work. That is why data science, another name for statistics is data science. What type of data you have seen as of now? Data means numbers. By numbers, next, text or words, information on which means, numbers I told, text I told, next,
Age.
data. Listen to me. Numbers, text, audio, video, images, expressions, silence, everything is data. You are showing your, you are all in silence mode, you are listening, but your brain is running like anything. Your brain is running like anything. Due to that unnecessary action, your input is also there, you cannot receive that input. You are scaring like that. Yes? Who asked your brain to work unnecessarily now? That is mandate. You cannot stop it. How to stop it? If you put concentration here, you can stop automatically. That is why concentratedly, please listen. That is for that only. So many methods are there in education, you might know very well. Then so many PPTs or ICT tools are applied to make your concentration, because the input is there, you must receive the output, you receive the input. To make you to receive the input as it is, then they are showing so many methodologies as the teachers, you know very well, I know. So, now, with respect to measurement, there are two methods, one is quantitative, one is qualitative. What is quantitative? Very important things only I am touching here. Please understand. Several talks are there in statistics, that whatever you really want, I am touching. After collecting the data, try to identify the types of variables, and before that you need to understand what type of variable can I receive from the respondents. The answer is data means, I told you, numbers, text, audio, video, images, any observed feelings also. By seeing the face of other persons also you can understand some data. He is not interested to my class. He is very much, he is pretended like to show he is interested, but really he is not. Everything you can get from the seeing the faces. But you are not telling, my interested rate is 0.5 or 0.7, you are not telling. Even though also any person can understand. That is the scope of data. That is the scope of data. So, after that, quantitative and qualitative with respect to measurement. What is the quantitative? Can anybody tell an example quickly?
Statistical representation.
Statistics? I am asking about variable. If I ask your height as a variable, you can tell this much, 155 centimeters or 160 centimeters. Then that is the
Quantitative.
thumb rule. I can say that the variable which is having units is quantitative. Height is centimeters, units is there. Weight is kgs, units is there. Expenditure, revenue, everything, rupees is there. All those are quantitative. Statistically speaking, continuous. Quantitative. Now no need to worry about which one I need to tell. Just think that what is your expenditure immediately. That must be represented by means of rupees. Definitely that is the quantitative. Statistically, what does it mean? Continuous. Quantitative and continuous. Namaste. Quantitative and continuous. Okay, what are other things? Qualitative. Can anybody give the example for qualitative variable? Theoretical? Any question, any variable at least. Qualitative? Observation ज़्यादा होने के बाद? I'm asking about example for quantitative variable. I told the height and weight all is a quantitative variables. You know very well. Then I am asking about what is the qualitative variable.
Good and bad. Good and bad.
Yes or no, good and bad, not now, I agree, don't agree, all these expressions are as quantitative. Attributive. How do you feel? Not good. Not good is also, this is not in number, but you can express by category. Those are called as quantitative, qualitative variable. Another name for qualitative variable, categorical variable. Categorical variable, these are not the categories. Categorical variables. If you don't understand these things, you cannot go which tool is suitable for your data. I am sure. That is why I am touching all those things. Data are of numeric, text, audio, video, images, etc. Simple. Then with respect to measurement, there is two types. One is quantitative, another one is qualitative. Quantitative also again, sorry, continuous, discrete. Continuous, discrete. Continuous example, simple thing, the variables which is having units is continuous. What? Height, weight, expenditure, revenue, etc. Coming to discrete. Discrete in quantitative variable. Any example? Thank you. Discrete in quantitative variable.
How many family members?
Very good. Number of counts. Counts data. Number of persons, number of girls, number of boys, all these are the counts. This is continuous, this is discrete. Example is count data. Number of universities, number of first classes, everything is count data. These two comes under quantitative variable. Directly we can measure. If I ask you how many female students are there, you cannot express by category. You can tell number. That is why directly measurable things are called as quantitative variables. In this, one is which is having direct measurements, direct units, kgs, centimeters and rupees, all those things comes under continuous. Without without knowing this knowledge, you cannot proceed for statistical analysis. Then this is counts. Come to qualitative. Qualitative. Qualitative is nothing but attributes. Another name is categories. How many categorical data? Nominal, ordinal. Good. If you understand these four, automatically choosing the statistical analysis is very easy. You must understand. So as far as statistics is considered, don't read statistical concepts separately. Please link all the concepts so that only you can have the memory. So this is the way to remember. Nominal example, can anybody tell? What is the nominal type of variable?
Number.
Gender.
Gender, good. Gender. In gender, how many categories will be there? Male, female, transgender. So, if I want to convert this into numbers, if we want to code it, why I should code? Yeah, coding is necessary for the statistical analysis. If you don't want to statistical analysis, no need to code. So if you want to code it, what is the order of values here? Is there any order? 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1 or 2, 1, 3 likewise? Any order is there? Is there? No, that is why this is nominal. If you cannot identify by seeing the variable, the order of that variable or categories, that is called nominal. Then, religion is nominal or ordinal? Don't put doubts. Please say loudly, otherwise you will be arrested like anything. Nominal. Caste system, caste? Nominal. Okay, varieties? Varieties of rice varieties are nominal, good. And education? Education of the persons? You are thinking, being the educators? Nominal? Ordinal. Graduate, postgraduate, doctorate, faculty, the stages will be there. If there is order, acceptable order, not your perspective order, acceptable order, that is called ordinal. Income status, ordinal, good. Income status is also ordinal and this education is also ordinal. Ordinal, education, income, UG, PG, PhD, etc. Income, low, medium. Example I am writing. Am I clear up to this? How many types of variables? After collecting the data, you please understand what type of data I am having. Then only you can push into the statistical analysis. So do you have any doubts into this? Then, due to dependency there are another type data, independent variable, dependent variable. Independent variable, another name is factor. These are called factors. If you go for any very good journal, they are writing in the sense of factors. They cannot mention independent variable, dependent variable like that. How many out of 10 factors, 8 were identified as the very significant factors towards the dependent variable they used to like. So please understand here, independent variable that have real effect, then only those are called as factors. Independent variables, those contributes towards dependent variable, then only those are called as factors. If you are having the independent variable that is not contributing towards any amount towards dependent variable, that is only independent variable. You should not take it as a factor. You are having so many things for your progress. Which one is contributing significantly? Then because of that only I am here like this. Today I am, because of that only you are relating. So many unnecessary things are there. But those are there, but the contribution from them is not significant. If you feel an independent variable is significantly contributing towards dependent variable, that is called as factor. Now, up to this, if you have knowledge, we can go for statistical analysis. Statistical analysis. Then, there are basically descriptive. Another one is inferential. Only few things are necessary to conduct your analysis. Statistical analysis deals with two parts. One is descriptive statistics. Another one is inferential statistics. See here, I can give the example of conversation. If any student comes to you and started telling about her achievements. I was that, I got these many ranks, everything he is. At final, he described about his quality or his capacity. Later you can have a question that why he is telling everything to me. You didn't ask. He only came and starting without introducing anything. He started, my name is so and so, I got so and so, everything he described. Even though there are very significant remarks, yes, he achieved 3 gold medals, etc. also. Then what is your status of face? Why he is telling to me, I don't know. Yes ma'am, by this I can say that I would like to work as a research scholar with your cooperation. Up to that level, you are having a big question mark. Even though there are a significant description about the student, you never asked, you have invited him to tell about, he described like anything. At final, if he tell, I would like to join as a student in your department or under your guidance, okay. If it is not there, then what is your status? He describes so many things, so what? That is why, before going for descriptive analysis, please think. You are describing your data like anything, descriptive analysis of thesis you are doing. So what is the question from the public? That is why, nowadays, you please understand the role of inferential statistics. Inferential statistics must be there. The question, this is not the conversation between society and yourself, but please think. You described something, I have collected data, these many female are there, these many male are there, these are having these many capacities, they are having the knowledge, everything you boosted. So what? What you are going to tell to me? That is very important. Yes, by my analysis, I can say that if female or male have this much of capacity, definitely they are going to face any problems in the society. If you conclude such a way, then it is useful. Otherwise, please think here the role of inferential statistics. Experimental research, exploratory research, all those comes under that one. This is only descriptive research. Nowadays, descriptive research may not have big, what is that, applause. You must go. So what you need to tell? I think. That is why to say something contribution, you need to work with inferential statistics. Inferential statistics start with hypothesis. Have you heard of that term? Hypothesis. Next, testing. Large sample, small sample. Last one is testing non-parametric. This is also very important. Non-parametric tests. Large and small sample are called as parametric tests. Parametric tests. Hypothesis. Under testing there are three. One is large sample, small sample test. Large and small sample are called as parametric. Another wing is non-parametric. If you can understand very simple things which I have written in the board, more than enough to do for statistical analysis. More than enough. If you link everything, more than enough. Okay? Then, now coming to descriptive. Descriptive statistics leads with measures of central tendency. Measures of central tendency. Mean, median, mode, everything. Then measures of dispersion. Measures of dispersion, range, standard deviation, quartile deviation, mean deviation. Measures of central tendency, mean, median, mode. Coming to that correlation. Again it comes under hypothesis testing.
Measures of frequency distribution.
Okay. Frequency distributions are probability distributions. I think frequency only you can, no issue. Before going for measures of central tendency, frequency distributions, this is the very old basic thing. No need to worry nowadays. Okay, no issue. Frequency distribution, measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion. Next, any idea? Shape measures. That is skewness, curvature. Those are very important. Final one is graphical representation. Graphical representation. This comes under descriptive statistics. Why? What is the need for frequency distribution? Can anybody? You are telling that frequency distribution is also necessary. What is the need? Anybody? Do you know what is frequency distribution? What is frequency distribution? మీరు అన్నారు కదండి ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ అని. What is it? విన్నారా? Have you heard about frequency distribution? మీరు చెప్పారా frequency distribution ఎవరు? మీరేనా? What is the need?
Given interval data.
Why we should give interval data?
To precise the large sample, too small.
If the sample size is very large, if 5 people are there, I can write their marks or performance in a single line. There is no need for frequency distribution.
Yes.
If 50 members are there, if I can write in single paper 1, 2, 3, 4 their ID numbers and their marks, no need to go for frequency distribution. If 500 are there, 600 are there, 700 are to present precisely, that's all. There is no other use of having frequency distribution. Nowadays, computer era is going on. That is why frequency distributions were gone. No need, because vast size of the data also you enter in the computer, automatically it is going to give everything of descriptive statistics. Unless making the size of the data precise, the use of distributions were there. ఎప్పుడు ఉన్నాయి, ఇంకా మీరు ఇప్పుడు టచ్ చేయకూడదు. Because if you still in frequency distribution are representing frequency distribution, class interval, frequency, not necessary. After that, what is its purpose? Measures of set attendance. After that, what is the frequency table purpose? Measures of dispersion. What another person told is correlations, regressions, everything. In olden days, if you write 3-4 pages of your raw data, that you cannot consolidate. To make it in consolidated way, frequency distributors are required. Nowadays, not necessary. The representation, the precise way of presentation of large volume of data is frequency distribution. Frequency is nothing but number of times the value repeated. Number of times the value repeated. Two types of frequency distributions are there: discrete and continuous. Here, for example, marks. Frequency. Then coming to raw data, I am giving the marks of 10 students. Students, if you write like this, let us consider only small sample. I cannot write large sample. 10 students I have taken. This is called the data, actual data. If it is 1,000 students are there, it is not possible to put in this board also, on your page also. So that is why we started to reduce the size of the data without losing any information. That is why frequency distributions has come. Then marks, I can write individual marks starting with the smallest one, 20, 24, 80, 82, 85, 90, 92, 95. I have it. Then how many times 20 is repeated? One time. How many times 24 did? One time. 80, one time. 82, 85, 190, 2 times 92, 2 times 95,
91.
so total is 10. Total is 10. This is what the purpose, the frequency distributions were there. Very basic purpose. To reduce the size and to understand in which category many students are there. That's all simple. Then, so what we cannot answer that. Aithe entandi, if 80% of my class is under 80 marks, so what? Then you need to tell. If their capacities or their caliber is like this today, definitely they are going to achieve very good jobs. If you tell in such a way, there is a value in that sentence. To make the valuable sentence, to make the valuable conclusions, you must touch the inferential statistics. Then, and another one is class interval and frequency will be there, this continuous distribution. No madam, I don't want these things. I want only 20 to 50, how many? 50 to 100, how many? Simple. Up to middle value. Then you can count 20 to 50, how many? Only to 100 to 50, 8 totally. That depends on the class interval, depends on our requirement. There is no big procedure for that also. But if you were asked, tell me your requirement, if you could not tell your requirement, then there is a mathematical procedure to settle the class interval. If I ask you, how much width do you want? No madam, I don't have any idea. Then go for this formula. We have given so many formulas. Apply this formula, put, if it is 10, if it is 5, whatever the answer is there, you please go on that. Otherwise, if you can tell this much of width are required, 10 marks difference, 20 marks difference, 20 lakhs difference of turnover, you can fix as the research. So, that is why this is raw data, this is discrete data, this is continuous data. The total is always 10. Very, very basic and the oldest methods to present precisely the data. The days were gone. Okay, what is the purpose? The very purpose of the data is analysis. What type of analysis? Only two things, descriptive and inferential. Don't make wide confusion. Please understand here, very simple here. So, descriptive and inferential. So now our question is, can I go for only descriptive? Can I go for only inferential? Can I go for both? This is our question now. So what I told you previously also, descriptive statistics is very fundamental things. Described, example also I told, he described so many things about him. What is the fun? Then in what means you are going to help me? In what means you are going to help the institution? Something, your contribution is required here, not you, about you. Without having the quality in that person, he cannot help. That is why descriptive was also important, and descriptive will have the recognition only if he contributes something. That is why your thesis may have the value only, not only with descriptive, but also you need to consider the inferential part a little bit also. I am not telling that go for entire thing, oh, big test in inferential stats. No. Because of this description, because of the quality of data, what it is contributing, you need to tell as the research part. That is the one of the mandate step in 8 steps of the scientific research. Do you know what are the 8 steps of scientific research? 8 stages or 8 steps. How do you proceed your research? How do you proceed your research? Registration, huh? Registration, getting the seat, writing the... How do you start?
Proposal.
Problem. What is meant by problem? I am having leg pain, body pain. Is it the problem? Identifying the problem is where is they are available. Problem bazaar is there. Problem bazaar is there. DMARC is allowing to get the some problems. Where it is? Pardon? Anybody gives the research problems or like this list? You take anyone? No, not like that. How to identify?
In the society.
Study the literature. If you observe the society, also so many problems may come to you. You cannot solve. Study the literature in your own respective discipline. Literature review. What had happened? Previous 10 years, what had happened? Previous 5 years, next is latest publications. And here you need to take care about the literature. So much of garbage is there in the literature, I can tell. Very few significant contributions are there. You must utilize your intellectual power to identify very good literature. Everything is literature nowadays. I can also upload any literature. Don't depend on that. Don't get misleaded in the very first step. That is why go for highly rated journals, peer-reviewed rated journals only. You believe that. And by seeing the cover page, don't believe in one particular very good journal, one paper is there, then please don't understand that it is very good. No. Please go through the abstract. And immediately abstract, come to the methodology. That is the heart of the article. Come to the methodology. Then what type of methodology they followed. If it is under scientific situations, scientific considerations, then you can believe. Irrespective of the author. Irrespective of the author. Please don't mislead by seeing the author's name and by seeing the journals. Nowadays it is happening. Previous it was not there. Nowadays please take care about your literature, what you are reviewing. Very much, very important. Very important. Through that, you please try to identify the gap. What society exactly nowadays, what it is going on, and what point they have stopped the research, then identify the gap. That is the way of understanding the problem.
Research gaps.
Research gap. Gap, when you identify the gap, there must be two limits. One is what had happened, what is required. You must know both. Then only you can identify the gap. If you have one end, you cannot identify the gap. If you have this end, you cannot identify the gap. That is why both must be there. For first one, you need to review the literature, past publications. For second one, you need to understand the current scenario, the current requirement of the department or public or students, etc. etc. And policies taken by the government. New education policy is going to emerge shortly. Then what is its objectives? Then to meet that requirement, what is my contributions as the head of the institution or head of the department to implement to our students? So both ends you must know. For first one, reviewing one, what I told you, please mind carefully about the very important authenticated information. Then second one, yeah, somehow you identified that gap. That gives the scope for your problem. Otherwise problems cannot be identified directly. It is not the body pains. Our physical problems, so many we are having, mental problems also we are having, we can tell easily. That is not easy to get the problem. Each and every stage you need to have the very meticulous concentration. First one is identification of problem. Second one is
Introduction.
Statement of the
Review
story.
of statement of the story.
okay, statement identifying statement is in the one stage. Okay, if you identify broadly COVID pandemic, broad sense, and the impact of COVID pandemic on revenue is the title, there is no problem. Then
Objectives of
objectives. What is objectives? Objective. What is objective?
what purpose you have taken that problem.
Sir, pickle Japanese, sir. Young minds, Narga. Youngest minds. What is the problem? What is the objective? Ee samasyani. Why we have taken this? Any idea? Amma, don't put your brain in books. Don't remember your books. Particular page, particular notes. Don't think. If I ask the definition of objective, then you are referring your books. Not like that. Just
What are you find out?
yeah. What is to be identified through my research? Aim. What is your aim? You can tell your life aim or something. Similarly here also, research aims are nothing but objectives. Then, objectives, expectations, aims, all are equal. Expectations might be more, no? From the side of guide, the size is large. From the side of student, the size is small. It should not be like that. Not from the side of supervisor, not from the side of student. You must think about contribution to the society. Society means information, or society means any institution, any policy, any one discipline. By this, what you are going to tell to the majority of the people. Yes, if you apply this particular method, definitely there will be reduction in reduction in fearness about the mathematics or something. This method is applied for some students, and I got the very good results. That is what you are contributing to other persons. So by keeping in this mind, then you can frame the objectives. Here the length of objectives must be under the control of your research time, research budget, research resources. Don't go beyond that. Not like that. Please go for what is time I am having, what is my resources it is available. You may have so many very good expectations, but due to available resources, if you could not do, don't go for that. As far as this research is concerned, I am talking about research. If you are putting the project after completing your research and getting into the system, then if you apply for a project proposal, then you can go whatever you wanted to do. For this much of research resources I need, you can go for a budget. You can go for a grant, research grant. That is second thing. Here also, even PG, PhD, postdoc or any project proposal, everything is, procedure is same, this quantity is less. In PG level, this much. PhD, this much. Postdoc, this much. Proposal or project proposal, as you wish, you can incorporate, you can, whatever you can, because you are going to get the grant for the required resources. Here, existing resources only you need to consider. Time and resources are very important to keeping and to framing the objectives. First one, I told that purpose of the objectives. What type? This much of contribution is also more than enough. Novel contribution. చెప్పిందే చెప్పడం కాదు. ఆడవాళ్ళ కంటే మగవాళ్ళు బలంగా ఉంటారు, మగవాళ్ళ కంటే ఆడవాళ్ళు పొట్టిగా ఉంటారు. This is not the things. What is the use of getting? That type of all known things cannot be identified, cannot be explored once again. So what you need to tell? In such a way, first one is similar, at least a little bit of novel contribution to the society or to the knowledge. Knowledge means you are adding something towards literature, no? That is the knowledge, addition of the knowledge. Second one is time bound. Time and resources. Resources are the knowledge in a particular subject. Your guide's knowledge in a particular subject is also resource. You cannot go beyond that. Advisory committee, those who are familiar with that one only, you are restricted to select that particular topic. If you want to do something else, complete PhD first, then go for project proposal and do whatever you want to do. That's also one of the resource. Then time, budget and quality or knowledge level of the advisory committee. In such a way, please prepare the objectives. Objectives are nothing but expectations to be drawn out of your research. That's all. Under available resources, under stipulated time. Very simple. Am I clear up to this? Yes or no? Yes. Then what is the next step? Problem identification, fixing of the objectives. Then literature review only, you came to the gap. Literature review, inevitability is there, no issue. Then hypothesis. Yeah, very good. Before going for hypothesis, you cannot go straight away from objective to hypothesis. You must take care of what type of data you are going to get. What type of data? Yes, I wanted to use this particular schedule or interview. In such a way, you need to work fast. At least you have to design this much of variables I am going to consider. Then only hypothesis may come. Not regarding the objectives. Objectives may give the scope for so many hypotheses, but data must be available. That is why those will be both ways. You have to go for objectives, then verify your type of data to be collected, come to the hypothesis, then objective. Likewise, the journey must be like this before fixing the hypothesis. If you fix any 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 hypotheses, that comes under inferential statistics. Something knowledge you are contributing, you are going to give some knowledge bank to the existing knowledge, or contribution towards the development of the society, or contribution towards the fixing the policy decisions. Anything. Without which that cannot be, comes under scientific research. Third point is compulsorily you need to incorporate a couple of, if possible more, hypothesis that leads to some contribution. Next one is simple data collection, preparation schedule, data collection. After data, statistics come into the picture. Prior to go for data collection itself, you need to have the mind that what type of I am going to get. That is why I have written there. Continuous type of data and all types of data may be there. Continuous may be there, counts may be there. How many, what is your experience in your service? Is it continuous or discrete? Experience in the service? Months ఉండవా మీకు? సంవత్సరం దాటితే సంవత్సరం మధ్యలో రిటైర్మెంట్ ఇరా. So that is continuous. Please understand what is the thumb rule I told you. Verify whether it is having units. Units are the years, months. That is why that is continuous. How many students that you guided? Continuous. 2.5 student, 3.5 student ఉండడుగా. That is discrete. Very good. What is the opinion on new education policy? What type of variable is it? Opinion. What is your opinion? What is the verb there? Opinion is the question there. Opinion can be measured by? No, not at all continuous. How can you tell what is your opinion on today's education policy if I ask you? It is good, it is bad, it is okay, it is to be developed, something only you can tell. What type of variable is it? Qualitative. No need to have the confusion. Just to think, if the question is asked for me, then what is my response? Then only you can identify immediately. What is your health now? What type of variable? Qualitative. My health, BP, sugar, don't see. Don't see in such a way. I have not asked what is your blood pressure and sugar levels. I have not asked. What I have asked? What is your health? What is your mood now? Qualitative only. The options may be several, I don't bother. But what is your temperature now? Exact point. Quantitative, again we are having two. Continuous. If you have command on the variables, automatically analysis will be done. Don't get confusion. Later I can go for scores. Why? Who asked you? Later situations? I am asking what is your condition. Do you have mood to go for movie? No mood. Otherwise 20 mood is there, 40 mood is there. Are you are going to tell? No. Why you are telling continuous, always quantitative? No mood is there. Tomorrow we'll see. Everything, whatever you are expressing, please understand. If I ask what is your height? Quantitative or qualitative? Quantitative. Quantitative. Don't tell quantitative. I need the exact one. Continuous or discrete? How many idlis did you eat? ఎంత ఆలోచిస్తున్నారు ఇడ్లీలు తినడానికి కూడా so much you are thinking about is simply eating the idlis. How many idli do you order in the hotel? 1.5 idli, 1.35 idli do you order? Now what type of variable is it? Discrete. Discontinue అనకూడదు. Discrete variable. That means after 1 there will be 2. After 2 there will be 3. That is the meaning, simple. Yeah, that is continuous. That is like continuous. If any variable.
I just want to say that point is possible. That is continuous.
Yes, point is possible. Meaningful way. Meaningful way means 45.
24.5 kg.
Yeah, that is continuous. The points are meaningfully allowable in continuous data. The units are there. Very simple units. Units means number of idlis is having the units 40 centimeters, 25 kgs. Is there any units? No, that is why this is purely discrete. Then if I ask your age, generally what you say that? You cannot say 27.3 months. You cannot say like that. You can say 20 years, 40 years, likewise only. Even though you are telling in round figure, that is not discrete. Please understand it is having units. Every time you are telling to 20 years, 30 years, 40 years only. 40 years, 2 months, 2 days, 1 second, you cannot tell like that, no? So even in general also you could tell the round figure, that doesn't mean that it is discrete data. Please make sure that that particular variable is having units or not. If there is no units, then you can consider it as a discrete. Otherwise it must be continuous. Why I am stressing on the variable? If you can understand type of variable, then suitable statistical tool will be identified very, very quickly. Then nowadays software is there, and in Google also. If you fix the t-test or ANOVA or any correlation test, then how to conduct correlation in Excel or SPSS you can tell. 4 steps may come, then through 4 steps you can do. That is not the matter. You must concentrate how to understand your research items. Those are variables. Then through this variable what you are going to produce. That is very, very important. Then automatically software helps you. Then what is the major things which I have considered now? The data is of numbers, review, number, text, audio, video, images, expressions, what not. Majorly we can divide into two parts with respect to measurement, quantitative, qualitative. In quantitative again, continuous, discrete. Continuous means thumb rule, the variable that possess units of measurement. Units means centimeters, kgs, likewise. Automatically it allows the points. Please think. If it allows the centimeters, 20.5 centimeters is also meaningful. Yeah, that is why continuous. Come to discrete is nothing but counts. Simple counts. How many chairs are there? Counts. Okay, how many men are there? Count. So those are counts. Coming to the dependency. Dependency means the power of transmission. So two variables are there. Because of this, water and plant is there. Listen to me. Water and plant. Due to which one is flourishing? Due to water, plant is flourishing, or due to plant, water is flourishing?
Due to water.
Yes. Both must be there in your topic, but between those two, one is contributing. Contributor. One is affected. Which one is affected? Plant. That is why plant is your dependent variable and water is your independent. Listen to me now. Water is there, carpet is there, two are there, plant is there. Water, carpet, resources, it is available. Then which one is contributing towards plant? Only water. Carpet, it is there, but no contribution from the carpet. That is only simply independent variable. The water is factor. I told you two things. Several are there. Only water, due to water only, plant is going to flourish. Carpet is also there with me. There is no impact of carpet. Please understand that is independent. You are having resources. Keep it aside. Because of water only it is flourishing. Water is also called as independent, but also factor. If you identify the factors, automatically hypothesis comes in your mind. Otherwise, can I consider gender? Can I consider education? My senior consider both? Not like that. Think about your research topic. Yeah, there is no gender disparities in the admission. For example, admission, there is no gender disparities, for example. Then how do you take on the admissions of the university, how do you take gender as a factor? There is no problem. Irrespective of gender, they are taking through merit. If you know very well, there is no impact of gender, so you can leave it. Even though you are having the information about gender, leave it. You can present, in my admissions, these many boys are there, these many girls are there. That you can stop up to that only, because there is no impact of gender on your admissions or quality of the education. If there is impact, then consider it as a factor. Am I clear now? So many independent variables will be there. Please think as the researcher, which one is contributing towards my dependent variable, then only those will be considered as the factors. Now next step is, on the factors only, hypothesis must be framed. On the identified factors only, hypothesis must be framed. Not all the factors. I told that with respect to your constraint of the time and budget and resources, you can find. There is no strict rule. You have identified 10 factors. Shall I need to go for 10 factors for hypothesis? Not necessary. If possible, please incorporate as many as possible. If not possible, depending on your course, that is PG, PhD, likewise, according to your supervisor willingness, you can incorporate whatever maximum possible things. Am I clear now? Factor, independent variable, dependent variable. You can take the data from any independent variables. Otherwise, my sincere request is, don't waste your time to go for so many independent variables data from the respondent. If you give lengthy of questionnaires, they cannot give the proper answers. That is why precisely, please ask them. Precisely. That means identify the only factors or any few things about non-factor data also, you please ask. Don't give all demography, social, what is the use? Many things I usually see the questionnaires. So many unnecessary questions regarding their objectives are there. What is the use? Ma'am, okay, it will be, if it is the more data, it will be good for you. not for the respondent. Respondent may not spend that much of time. Because of the lengthy questionnaire, he cannot give the complete answers. So data loss will be there. He can go through first page, second page, unnecessary data, they can tick out. Then fourth and fifth are very important. He cannot put the more concentration, you may get the very worst data.
In this regard, I would like to ask one question, madam.
Yes.
This is a very important information. So many questions obviously is required. Then what can be done? For
I am
example,
talking about independent variables only.
independent variable. For example, multimedia you should take so many multimedia. With regard to this, so many multimedia, 100 questions may occur. Then what can we do? If you are precise, we never get the complete information.
Yeah.
Then what we have?
Yeah, you need to go for categorization. Audio visual tools, for example. Audio visual tools, audio tools, you may have 20 questions.
Categorize,
Video tools.
automatically number of questions comes and
No sir, if you can identify, there will be redundancy of the information. If you love the audio, automatically you must have the knowledge on the audio parameters.
You are saying the component wise. If you are categorized, means it's a component wise.
Component wise. Component wise also, redundancy information must be discarded. That is why you requested to go for the pilot study, get the pilot study data, go for correlations. Those correlated you can discard the number.
And there is purpose, we are going to purpose pilot study.
Okay.
But
Then
what I am asking, this is a very important information. How can you reduce that matter?
reduce means, how important means, can
For
it be?
example, audio visual multimedia
Okay,
information.
multimedia, how many questions, what is your title of the?
I forget.
At least multimedia, on multimedia, what type of variable you are going to measure?
Classification of multimedia, so many tools are there.
Okay,
For example, 50 to 60 tools are there.
okay.
Each tool, if you consider, if you make a question, each tool, nearly 100 questions may come.
Each tool?
Each tool, if you regard to the one tool, if you create 2 questions, it comes minimum 100 questions. How can we reduce?
What is your title of measurement? Tell me, knowledge or what you are going to?
How the effect of the multimedia at present society?
Effect of the
With the learning
multimedia.
of the Sanskrit.
Okay, sir. If you tell 100 types of multimedia is there,
Yes.
as a respondent, I don't know 100. First of all, you must list out how many multimedia do you know. Then redundant questions need not necessary.
As a researcher, it is my duty to acquaintance to others. These are the list of multimedia. Do you know about these multimedia?
If you acquaint some knowledge, how can you ask, do you know about multimedia?
Those who are studying in the same field, I have selected target group. For example,
If you have selected a target group, try to reduce the redundant questions or correlated questions in that. If one question is answered, I have 3 children, no need to ask about having married or something. Likewise, please identify the redundancy. At least, sir, this is the maximum, optimum size of the schedule must be there. Why you have fixed the 45 minutes for the class? Why don't you go for lengthy? You can tell so much of things. Up to evening also, how you are not able to put the
4 or 5 factors are there. We have to cover the entire syllabus with one day, all subjects. That is one factor.
No.
And
Why?
As for psychology, we can
Yes.
concentrate on
The same psychology works there. If you give the lengthy questionnaire, even though you are having the great enthusiasm to conduct a very good.
In that sense, I would like to conduct 2 days. 50 questions one day, another day 50 questions.
What?
I would like
Why
to cover
as the
the entire
respondent?
subject.
Why respondent should spare that much of time for you?
I
Why,
would
sir?
like to conduct that question.
Not only you. So many professors are there. So
I
many.
am talking about the on behalf of
No, sir.
professors.
Not only, sir. If I am the respondent, you may give one questionnaire today. Tomorrow he is going to send the questionnaire. So many questionnaires comes to me. What is my position?
My position is what I think that
No.
if you left out the sum of the matter,
That is the-
how can you cover that point?
I am not telling that leave some questions. Try to precise the question. 2-3 questions put together in one statement. In such a way.
There is a law that should not be complex sentence. Should not be,
Yes, sir. There is need to go for big exercise.
Yes.
But the respondent time is very, very precious. Otherwise, what will happen? I can tell now. You will get the wrong
data.
in blind. I can close my eyes and I can put and I can satisfy to you. Yes, sir. I can give it. Is it the way? To make the quality of the data, to ensure the quality of data, you must reduce whatever may be the exercises. That is not the thing. That is the part of very, very important part. Elaborately, for you that might be very good, that might be important, prioritized. For me, it is not. My time is very important for me. So many, in banks, if you send the students, or if you, in banks also, majority of the time students may come and take the data. And one manager, general manager told that please allow my students, they can go. And how much of time they are disturbing the faculty, the employees there? That much of patience do they have? In such a way, please understand. Ensure the quality of data. Whatever may be the exercises you can do, you do. That's all. Already taken data is there with another sir, for example. You share that one. You reduce those questions. General phenomena you can understand from that also. That is why we are reviewing that. Don't go for lengthy. That is ruled out. If you go after taking your data, I can challenge quality of data will not be there.
We cannot give assurance the quality of data, ma'am, depending on the respondents.
Size. If precise size is there, sir, there must be quantity.
Yes.
Because the faculty, 45, that is why we are fixing the 45 minutes for the class time. After 45 minutes, definitely they are opening eyes, they are closing their brains. We know that, that is why only we have. But it is very important for me and for you also, I can also tell, no, not like that.
Ma'am, totally it's depending on the mindset of the target.
How can you change the target group mindset, sir?
Yes, we have to briefing them.
Then you cannot see now. You can send the schedule to any person or any mail also. How can you brief
Yes,
me?
there is no reliability what I feel.
That is why please make sure that your size of the questions must be very, very precise, and you should not, without losing any information.
Yes.
Whatever, that much of exercise as a researcher you must do.
Lastly, what you said, that is exactly. Without
That is-
losing any information.
Yes, yes.
With the-
I am telling. I am not telling that you compromise the information. Without losing, without leaving your requirements, please exercise in such a way that how precisely we can give the questionnaire.
That is the talent of the guide.
Yes, guide on the researcher.
When we go for hypothesis,
Guide will guide.
we prepare hypothesis only on based on factors or
Factors only. Factors only.
If there is independent variable also, we don't write the hypothesis on independent
See here.
variable.
Tell me an example for hypothesis. I can tell you whether it is factor or independent variable.
There is no significant
Sir,
difference.
sir, please, sir.
Yeah.
Please, sir.
So that's what is
No issue, no issue. చెప్పండి. ఏదైనా చెప్పండి. ఎనీ hypothesis.
సంస్కృత విశ్వవిద్యాలయంలో సంస్కృతం చదువుతున్న విద్యార్థులందరూ మాట్లాడగలుగుతున్నారు, సంస్కృతంలో మాట్లాడగలుగుతున్నారు.
విద్యాలయం యొక్క ఎఫెక్ట్ పిల్లల మీద మాట్లాడదాని ఉంది అంతేనా? దేర్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ ఆఫ్ సాంస్క్రిట్ విద్యాపీఠ్ ఆన్ ద స్పీకింగ్ స్కిల్స్ ఆఫ్ ద స్టూడెంట్స్. అవునా? ఇంపాక్ట్ ఆఫ్ సాంస్క్రిట్ విద్యాపీఠ్ కరికులం ఆన్ ద స్పీకింగ్ స్కిల్స్ ఆఫ్ ద స్టూడెంట్స్
సాంస్క్రిట్ స్టూడెంట్
కదా. మరి ఈ రెండిట్లోంచి మీరు ఖచ్చితంగా ఎక్కడ ఇండిపెండెంట్ వేరియబుల్ ఏదన్నట్టుగా Sanskrit Vidyapith, due to Sanskrit Vidyapith curriculum, they could speak. Okay? Curriculum అనుకుందాం. Curriculum contributing towards the speaking skills మీరే చెప్తున్నారుగా contribution ఉందని. It is the factor.
అంటే కరికులంలో ఇప్పుడు ఉదాహరణకి ఇంగ్లీష్ సబ్జెక్ట్ కూడా ఉంది మ్యామ్ వీళ్ళకి. సో ఇంగ్లీష్ మే నాట్ ఎఫెక్ట్ ద స్టూడెంట్స్.
Sir, curriculum of Sanskrit అని పెట్టుకోండి. And generally చెప్పాను curriculum of Sanskrit చెప్పండి. Curriculum of Sanskrit is influencing the speaking skills of the students in Rashtriya Sanskrit Vidyapith. What you are telling? Curriculum of student is contributing something.
Curriculum is a factor.
Contributing అని చెప్పినప్పుడు ఫ్యాక్టర్ అయిపోయింది కానీ ఇది. ఈ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏ ప్రపంచంలో ఏ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకోండి. మీరు హెల్దీగా ఉన్నారంటే ఏంటి? ఏంటి? కోల్డ్ ఉన్నాయి. డైట్ ఏంటి? మీ పేరెంట్స్ ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్, ఇంట్లో ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ అన్ని ఉన్నాయా? ఆల్ ఫ్యాక్టర్స్. If you know that some contribution directly, indirectly is from that particular independent variable, that became factor already.
Then what is use of specifying the independent variable, ma'am?
Independent variable means,
Sir,
I told now,
he's
what
getting
I-
confused with
Yeah.
independent variable and factor.
ఒక నిమిషం.
Same independent factor is otherwise called as factor.
Sir, in this, I think ideal, Durga ideal is also there. Durga ideal is also there. It is there. But curriculum is contributing towards speaking skills. Durga ideal is also there. That is independent variable. Please keep it. You cannot discard Durga ideal from the Sanskrit Vidyapith. It is there. Yeah, we have these many ideals or these many facilities. You can write. But curriculum, you are working on curriculum of methodology that they followed, that making the students to speak Sanskrit very, very well, irrespective of all other availabilities. All other availabilities, if you mention in your thesis, that will become independent variables.
And one more question is to be prepared based on factors only.
No. Independent, dependent factors.
Independent
all.
also.
By preparing the questionnaire, no need to worry about factors.
Okay.
You can incorporate all independent variables. Later only you can pick up the factors.
How can I apply parametric test and
I can tell. I can tell. Parametric test and non-parametric. I can tell. Am I clear up to this?
Sanskrit one. What about the intervening variable?
Independent
Can patch that point? They are going dependent and independent. What about the intervening variable?
What is intervening?
English is eక్కడ
Intervening
Madhyavarti
variable.
నేను కూడా that itself is an intervening variable.
Example చెప్పండి. Example చెప్పండి.
Information about the intervening variable.
About intervening variable, in your perspective, it may be different. My perspective, extraneous variable or intervening variable may be partial correlations and that. Okay. Let me complete this one. Am I clear up to this? Variables, how to proceed. So, selection of topic, objectives, review, both going on. Then, hypothesis. Before framing the hypothesis, try to identify the factors. Whatever you are telling because of this, otherwise they enlightened, they developed, they well aware, all these terminology, definitely it must have the factor. I became like this means previous situation was different, present situation was different, there is a gap. This gap has happened due to one reason, those are the factors. Everybody is having. Because of my uncle only, I joined in this university. Your uncle made you forcefully join this university. Later you got posted here and settled here. So your uncle will become one of the factors who forced. Uncle factor and yes, for you, uncle is the factor. For me, my uncle is not a factor. See here, factors may not be universally unique. Your research topic may have different factor. You are working on the listen to me. Same topic, different objectives, factors may be different. Same topic with different objectives, factors may be different. If you can understand this one, so next, after preparing the hypothesis, come to the statistical analysis. Data entry, data editing, statistical analysis. Entry, it should be very clear. There must not be any bias. No need to discuss about elaborately all these things. And double entry must be there. You please check once again while entering in the paper also, otherwise from the computer also. 20.2 instead of 20.2 you write 202, then it will become the very big. Because of that average may be changed. Because of that standard deviation may be changed. Because of that skewness of the curve may be changed. So make sure that data entry is very, very important, even manually or in our computer. Then after that, priorly also we identify the types of variables. And we identified let us assume that we identify the factors also. Then our goal is what type of tool is to be used, what type of statistical technique is to be used if I am conducting inferential statistics in my research. That is the topic to be discussed. Am I clear up to that? Yes. Up to this, do you have any doubts? Then statistical analysis, I am touching the 8-point statistical analysis, valid conclusions, then research report. These are the 8 important parts.